but stand strong, stick to your game, keep playing the way you know how you can play, because you just maybe need that one game to give you a big boost into it, or that one circle that benefits you a little bit more, or just counters to what some of the other teams are doing around you.
100% correct right there. And guys, we are now at the halfway mark of the finals. Everything that can happen in one half can be repeated or be done completely opposite in the other. We don't know, we won't know until, of course, we'll get these games going. And now this one is going to be interesting because who do we have once again in their hospital container split? Northern Lights.
Changed it up again. We were just talking about them. Would
Unity.
they go for it? Would they not? Oh, wow.
What is going on, guys?
Okay.
There's so many teams here. Unity. Okay, so wait. Unity and 7 are going to split. Gatka split. We have 3D Max and we have Northern Lights. We have Unique. We have Erangel. And we have... This is chaos, guys. Somebody go somewhere else because... There's not enough room on the West Coast for all of you. Please don't have an Eastern Circle. That would be so horrible for all these teams. Because there's not even vehicles enough for all these players.
This is actually nuts. There's going to be some real position pushing coming into this.
And even Combat, I mean, even Tornado, they're going towards Sarky. There's so many teams on the West side right now. It's insane. And we get an Eastern Circle.
Again.
Wow.
So even the rotations are going to be so scary for a lot of these teams. If Quickmath can loot up and get themselves up into the north, near towards Stalber, then they'll be fine. They can hold that strong on their own. Avangard are going to be very happy, right? The fact that they just got away with this again.
Yeah, to a certain extent. They have extremely far to go, though. And they got to figure, how the hell do we do this? Last time we saw a circle similar with Erangel in Primorsk. They actually drove over the military island, and they ended up in 14th place. So it didn't work out for them. But this time around, with them sitting in the, spotting in the sky, maybe, that nobody went over military. Now, they did jump out really early, so they might not have gotten the info. But could be that they will want to try and repeat that, because there's no one down there at all. There's only 2 teams in the circle. How often have you seen a first circle pop with only 2 teams in it?
Hardly ever.
That's absurd. It's not something you'll ever see, guys. Everybody jumped west, and they all guessed wrong in where the circle would go.
And this is like we literally were just talking about this before we went into the game, the mind games, where teams start to change up where they're going and what they're doing here. How they actually start to think, oh, okay, wait a second. We're going to switch it up. It didn't work out for us last time. We need to get these extra points. Well, you switched it up, and sometimes you can switch it up and it doesn't work out for you. Actually, it has a negative effect on where you were.
Exactly. This is going to be really interesting to pay attention to. I mean, this is one of those situations where somehow it can work in Sunsea.
He's alive.
We're 3 minutes into the game, and he's alive.
Done it.
That's a record, at least for today.
I'm proud. I'm proud.
And it's got to be feels good, man, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they just got hardcore away from by the circle, but at least this time around, they have some sort of a chance to do something about it.
Now, I'm really interested to see what we need at home inside games. They were in the circle, but they know there's no Milta team. There's no Milta power team. Where do you take your position now? Because the next circle could still shift.
Yeah, you can go either way. That's the thing, right? You can commit as hard as you want to say, oh, this is the best compound center in the circle. But then just already by circle 2, it hard shifts to one end, and you're like, well, there goes our advantage. And all of a sudden, you're completely screwed when it comes to where you want it to go. So for some of these teams, I mean, for Desperados as well, they saw all these teams jump out early on the plane, and they must have looked to the sky while they were flying and saying, nobody's going Milta. Might not be able to see all the way to Milta Power, but should be able to do the math that with so many teams jumping out early, one of those teams should have been a Milta Power team too. They have a chance to pretty much take whatever they want.
Take whatever they want is exactly what they'll do. The worst thing you'd want to see happen, though, is Lipson and Campeak go head-to-head, because they're very close to each other at the moment.
Yeah.
You don't need those 2 teams. The only 2 teams in the circle do not need to fight now.
No.
Don't even think about it. Wait for some of these other teams to rotate in and see how they're going to approach into it.
Plenty of room. Don't shoot, just chill. At least for a little while, because in the short while, I guess you can say, there will be a whole hell of a lot more teams at least trying to make their way in towards the circle. And this is the thing, right? All these teams that are out on the west side, they need to wait for teams like Reciprocity, Desperados, and Socket Nam to rotate before they can do anything, because if not, they're just going to get caught off trying to do anything.
Well, 3D Max believe they can make the run through, but they're going to go just a little bit more towards the north, right? Just above Rozak and just below Saverny. Quick Math already starting getting their cars at the same time. There are these teams that are thinking, all right, how do we get out of the round of this? Because this is going to be so difficult to play from.
Yeah, there are so many teams trying to figure how they want to do this. I would assume to see a lot of them go down over towards Potato Hill, that area of the map. Maybe a team like Suktadam would actually want to go up and sit there and wait for teams. Could come to cost them, but knowing so many teams have gone west already, they should be in a position where they can say, you know what, let's not do it this time around because we actually have a chance to get a good center position.
Play with me already starting to fire. He's hoping to see more players come his way and try and get past them. They don't need to challenge this just yet. But the problem is, like you're already saying, Buster Travel alone, where he's heading to is just another team and another team. And until he gets past Desperados, he's not really going to have the ground to play from.
And that's the thing, they want to rotate early, but by rotating early, a lot of these split teams that they drive on through are still going to be in the area, so it's going to be so much pressure coming. And you see Edelweiss as well on your map right there in the center of things down south, taking a lot of fire from Golden Menta. And now for Desperados too, I mean, the more people you hear rotating by you, the more it's a sort of calling of, well, I mean, that's one position gone, that's two positions gone, that's kind of stresses you to say, well, I guess we got to get going now as well because we're pretty close to it.
Yeah, and they don't want to wait too long where so many teams bypass them and they give up a lot of room that they could have had for themselves.
It's kind of the same thing with you always have that kid in school that lived right next to the school, but that was always the one that was late, right? So same thing here. Oh, we were close to the circle. We don't need to go early. Well, I mean, you might just want to go because that center is already completely packed with people.
That was me. Yep, I was that kid. I literally lived 10 minutes from my house. I don't think I ever made it to school on time. Staying cool, school kids. Not all.
And it's your parents' fault, not your fault, of course.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, of course, your parents' fault.
Why did they buy that house close to the school? Idiots.
Had I been further away, I would have made it on time every time. I was one of those guys that lived so far away that if I didn't make my bus, I didn't get to school. So it was, pretty only. Oh, there you go. Nice little touch of vehicles.
Car kissing.
Ah, that's a thing now, by the way.
Kiss the bumper.
Appropriate casting. I love it. Kiss of the cars. That's going to be the anthem of this.
Well, I could have told you to kiss someone else, but that's definitely not appropriate.
Oh yeah, true. Unfortunately, that's not an emoji or movement thing you can do in the game. There's no interaction emojis in the game just yet. Stella getting their position in an Alamo. Probably realizing now that Suktadam they will be their neighbors at least for the time being, and they have to figure: do we really want to sit here with the team just on the other side, or do we want to go somewhere else? Because this is again one of those areas where if you get pinned down in here, it's so incredibly difficult to get out.
Now, Seacorg, a team that, when they started in their group, were looking so strong across the board. Calvin Klein, just ignoring you. As the rest of Seacorg will now really need to think, okay, we do not just have to frag, we need to actually get the placements here as well, because they've been going in for jewels and losing off so many times here. And that little knock there that Calvin Klein went and faced himself with is a very cautious one, because he's out in the open and there's 3 teams nearby.
And that's one thing. The other thing being that the vehicle that he jumped out to get him back up just rolled down towards a compound, so they have to go down and spend time getting that one. Okay, bro, try to get himself a smart northern position. But Seacorg said, you know what, you can go up there by 1 guy, but we're 4 guys alive in this game. And, well, I mean, they killed him.
And that's the start that Seacorg needed, and that's what they need to try and hold on to. But they have got Tornado Energy coming through with them as well. But Seek is not far away. And even Avangard are working all their way up, still in the blue, looking to be the last team making it through.
Playing it smart, playing it safe, not in a hurry. They knew that they were the last team in the bunch all the way down in Primorsk, and with so many teams around them. You know what? No stress, boys. Let's just take it easy, loot that 1-2 first aid, a couple of boosters more, and tank it through.
I reckon Avangard are literally the most chilled team in terms of rotations and when we do it. They never will be put under pressure.
But at the same time, that's one thing, right? But at the same time, keeping calm, that's one thing. But but doing it smart too, because it's not like they're keeping it calm in a way they don't care. It's like, no, we'll just do this. They're calm, but they're always 200%, exactly, aware of what they got to do.
Calm and calculated Avangard with epic aim when it comes down to it, as well as this next circle is about to pop, and we're going down south. And guess what? There's only 1 team down there. It is unique. They've just made their way through and went, we'll take this luck. I'll have this for a little bit. And look how quickly teams are starting to move. 7 Desperados, Reciprocity, all in their vehicles, and they're just barreling down saying, where's the compound for us?
Yeah, and they talked about it just before. Inside games, they had the chance to set that send and say, we're in the best spot. Then you get a circle like this, and then all of a sudden, well, we're going to rotate in as the last guys because this won't change anything. We're sitting all the way on Lipovka now.
And the thing is, for the teams that actually rotated from south, like Erangel, who went Primorsk, this is rough because you've gone up north and you have to come back down where the teams have already been and where the teams can actually sit themselves in here.
They might just want to go, not back the way they came, but just stay outside the circle and go all the way down south again. I mean, that could be a play for them to make because there isn't a whole lot to take up north. They know so many teams will have been forced to sort of charm their way down from north because the north was the previous center. So going all the way underneath, trying to take a position, maybe down in, not in Milta, but around down there, could be the call for them to make.
Could actually be a smart play, but we're talking about smart plays. Rita, she is the in-game leader for We Need a Home. She's always the one pushing up further forward than the rest of her team as well to start things off with. Giving the commands, giving the orders to try and make it work, but she's got a lot of Desperado players around her. Starts tapping away, trying to put the shots onto Tozera. Starts getting hit back herself. Now needs her teammates to come in and give her an extra bit of help here because she cannot challenge this on her own.
You see that the Northern Lights have come down to say hi into the compound as well, and inside games, losing a guy in a rotation, not what you want to have happen, unfortunate, especially considering the fact that they're rotating by other teams. So that's a dangerous place for this stuff to happen.
I'm so impressed with you, Toby. Erangel out rotating down from the north, just coming through Rozhok now. Only a couple of players out of the blue, and they are going towards that south side. They do not want to take any risks here. They're waiting it out. And Erangel, although... Great.
Hi, Tubesick. Welcome.
He just appears to the party, gets shot as well, gets headshot and loses 76 health. But Erangel, one thing they're doing is their rotations is, if you're another team, you cannot guess when it's going to happen or where they're going to come from. They are the most unpredictable in how they rotate. Where we see a lot of common themes in other teams, the only thing we know from Erangel is that they'll actually sit in the blue at some point.
I mean, it makes sense, right? They would rather take the safe play than go aggressive, and that's the reason they're at the top right now. Besiktas far up north trying to hold off Seagorg, but at the cost of them not being able to get inside the circle themselves. You see Seagorg, 4 guys alive, for now at least, but they're in all kinds of confusion and disarray as to what they're going to do. And Ultra, losing a wheel in his vehicle, will have to make the run on down with just free to go.
At least he's still alive and got his teammates with him as they make their way in, but there's plenty of teams they're going to be heading towards. Orange Snow finds the knock onto Calvin Klein, and Desperados heavily under fire and also having to compete with We Need a Home at the same time.
Yeah, fighting down just on the western side of Lumber Mill. It's a dangerous place to sort of get pinned down because you can't get inside your vehicles, and if you know there are teams nearby you, it's so hard to really gain speed once you're all this up down kind of terrain. It's so difficult to really get moving if the circle shifts away from you. 6C. Trying to see if he can land some shots with his DMR moment in there as well. They're sitting on the northern side still up there. You see them. Will they get this next circle shifted towards them? They would hope for it. And well, I mean, I guess they couldn't hope for anything better than that.
3D Max took the boat, went all the way around, kept themselves out of the fight, got their players still there. Now they're in Milta Power, and that circle isn't too bad for them whatsoever.
I can actually respect that call. They drove in, they said, nope, ain't gonna happen, take a boat all the way around, and now going up to Milta Power. That's a pretty wise play by them.
And no one's going to expect it, right? You've got 7 just up in front of you. You've got Unique down in the south. There is an opportunity to really be the surprising factor.
Congratulations, boys, you were smart. Credit where credit's due. I mean, not a lot more to it, really. It's an Erangel, though. I mean, I don't want to call them not smart, but having X team out there right now is not exactly the best situation for them. He is kind of saved by the little fence, but how long that's going to grant him cover is not going to be for sure. An Octave Erangel, they've made their way into, not inside the circle just yet. They're just saying, oh, is there some loot in here we can get before we go inside the circle? Because we might not be able to get back inside these vehicles again in, well, I mean, anymore in this game.
Erangel in no hurry. Who might be in a hurry is Rita, as she's being chased down once again from Desperados. They've had this little back and forth for a while, but they've got Unity close by if they did want to engage. So as soon as this action starts to happen, Unity's going to smell the blood and go on the hunt.
And once again, we see one of those games. We're almost 14 minutes in, and we've only lost one guy, Calvin. That's the second knock, I believe, for him. He was taken down just before as well. Coulter trying to run on down towards him and get some help on up. Throws the smoke. Should be able to get the res in, unless, of course, if Rita can do some damage here. Fake has kind of the surprise angle. Should be able to make the push on, but if they do decide to push over, could have good angle there. But Unity, hearing all these nades bounce around, they could try and third party on this. Unique actually going to be the team to get the finish up onto Calvin.
And this is what's nuts, right? We need Home and Desperados fighting off in Lumber for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then we actually see Unique and Unity close by saying, oh, okay, I guess we can all get involved in this from either side. They're in a real pinch here, and it's going to be a struggle for them to get out of because Avangard's also approaching that direction as well.
The best points you can get are the ones that don't cost you anything but a couple of bullets. When you have a guy knocked up there, there's no way people wouldn't be shooting towards them. So smart play coming in from Unique and securing themselves yet another point, trying to, well, as well get up a little further distance away from all these teams that are bunched up in the middle of the leaderboards.
Now 3D Max need to make sure they know where 7 are because they're taking shots at Besiktas as well. And there's a little bit of space across different parts of the map here, but this action is really going to unfold ever so shortly.
And that's the thing, right? Because the next circle is going to go away from water. It should probably go up towards the lumber mill area, but then again, it's never guaranteed. PUBG, it can surprise you in many ways, circles being one of them, that's for sure. And you talk about how there's space between the teams. There's still 62 players alive. Believe me, by the connection of the next one, we'll be down to something like 40 at most. 3 guys in a US, or 2 guys make that in the US with only 2 wheels. That's a gutsy call, but they made it over. And there you go, up towards Lumber Mill we go. This is going to be dead for so many players.
Yep, this rotation in is going to be incredibly difficult. They're going to be fighting off ever so shortly for all the little bits of room that's left alive for any of these players that haven't kind of got themselves into a solidified position. Now, Avangard are going to be taking shots, but they've got to be cautious of Unique, who are also down there in the south. 3D Max have been the silent team, right? They've taken a few shots at different teams, but they've came all the way through. And this is where it could be very interesting for them, right? Because they've never really been in this position where they're chasing the other people. They've always had someone else come in to get them.
And 3D Max came in on boats, so they don't have cars to drive through this one. They have to run all the way from Mill to Power up towards Lumber Mill. There are going to be 7 teams up in here in a matter of seconds. Noctive and the fake shooting towards one another, getting some knocks in, but one knock coming in return right there as well, called Amenta, taken down by Paladera as well.
We need a home. They've been waiting for this battle to continue, and they're managing to get themselves some kills still. It's not going to be stolen away from them just yet. Rafi's found Sunzi Ninja, so early on, Seek Org taking some damage here as soon as these fights begin. And it is Reciprocity who are pinned down up towards Prism.
Reciprocity have a pretty decent spot in the half-pipe up there, trying to see if they can do something from this. Hard for other teams to really peek them from where they're sitting. Sooked now really the only team that can make their way on around to the south side of kind of the Lion King Hill spot there to see if they can spot them, but opted to try and contain teams inside Prison instead. Unique right now up against their country CIS friends in Avangard. All of them on the edge of the circle wanting to make their way in, but there's not going to be room for both these teams.
Maybe trying to play it smart behind the rocks. Nades will come out towards him though. Standing's got on his hand. Starts to bounce in, damage being done. Avangard do need to be careful, and Max's, or you heard it go. You managed to see it get done. Headshots galore, and he just continues to deliver.
He's a beast with the bold actions, and he shows it right there. 3D Max in all kinds of trouble, trying to make their rotation on in. Under a lot of fire, trying to do so as well. Now once again, Reciprocity under fire. Stella this time around, the team up and above them. But Quick Math in a good spot to hold them down as well.
Got some of the Northern Lights players around that area of Prison at the same time. Zuck said, they're just going to be holding it back, at least for now. Firing off some shots, but also trying to gain some ground here.
Shots once again traded to both sides. Azrain getting himself a knock on towards Standing in return for Max's all going down. Only issue being that Avangard's been that much better at getting the Reses back on up. Drainies does get back up on his feet, but Standing is still down. So 4v3 at least for now.
And they need to be oh so careful here as 7 continue to keep 3D Max at bay. They're saying, you're not sneaking up on us anytime soon, and we're going to put an end to you if you try.
3D Max trying to make the push on over as well. They've been running so far, and now they're getting run over, at least for now, from by 7 as they try to make the push on up towards the compound. Snoopy gets himself some meds off, but Yubica doing everything he can to keep his teams home alive.
Yubica is like the ultimate soldier at the moment, putting a good bit of defense up for his teammates, holding off Avangard, who are trying to push their way around and still trying to get these reses off. Is he going to have enough time here?
I think it's the 3rd time he reses Drainies. It's pretty impressive. Might just be able to run on up to Standing as well. I do see Maxison now. They're getting a little more aggressive. They are realizing we're getting more and more knocks on these guys. We need to finish this one off so we can focus further inward. 3D Max goes down. So smart rotation earlier did not grant them a whole lot in the end. Maxison has an angle, spots out Yubica as well, not able to connect the shots right now.
Now Avangard go over the top. Yubica may get one knock, but that might be all he's able to get. An Octave trying to finish off Drain. He's low on health. They've got to be oh so careful. He needs to provide that cover fire. The nades are going out. He's going to throw a nade back of his own, and it might be able to be close enough here.
The circle is closing on in as well. Not sure Snoopy's going to be able to get rested. It is phase 5. It's going to kill you by the time that you get on inside that circle again. Maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to get it before it connects, but I think he realizes now it's too little, too late. Erangel, though, do get the finish off Noctiv and you, Max is all working together, taking out Draining Snoopy.
So careful the third parties don't come up into him. Stella in a bit of action with Zen at the same time. Zen's worked their way around from the west all the way down to the south and caught Stella off guard, who were very much focused on reciprocity.
Six is saying, nope, 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 I'm just going to jump down here. Last player alive, not going to risk anything. He's committing himself towards the prison area. Circle did go up in that direction too, so it kind of makes sense, but it's going to be so hard for him to do anything because now he's trapped down underneath the rock side.
And Erangel managing to keep 3 alive despite taking that battle, which was a long battle against Unique. A lot of back and forth plays coming in there. And now they can hear the action going on with 7 close by. They're going to try and engage in this.
Look at 60's position. He's not going to be able to move for a long time, that's for sure. Krapik trying to do something. X-Team all by himself. Now losing his teammate there. Has to make the run, and then phase number 6 of 5 make that on the run. You see the amount of damage being done just by the circle, and he has yet to meet any of the teams trying to look for him.
Just a little waiting game for him. Get on the rock, see how you can survive, but who isn't going to survive is going to be X-Team, as Tornado are completely eliminated in 14th place. More teams going down as Desperados are the next to fall, and this is where it starts to get a little bit more chaotic.
Yeah, it's so tricky to play around these areas too. Ho tried to make the run on up towards his teammates, unfortunately going down, but only losing 1 guy in all of that rotation is, I guess, the best you could hope for when you are quick math. They have a good position in the circle now, but they do need to worry, because as with everyone else, start shooting, shoot for a bit too long, and you will get third-partied.
Third-partied, fourth-partied, fifth-partied, they will be coming up very soon, especially on the south side of this circle as teams try to make their way up. Unity's pushing up forward. They're on a bit of a 2-2 split, and they're heading up towards Zen. Erangel heavily under pressure from 2 different teams at the moment. We need a homer there as R7.
So difficult to clear on this area. Rita with their first kill of this game right there, taking out Snoopy. Nice headshot connected. Trying to see if we can spot some more players from 7 down here. I'm not sure she's aware that it's 2 different teams he's shooting towards, and that's kind of the issue, right? She's trying to hold the side, but there's just so many players coming in. Holy moly, what a headshot!
What an absolutely pixel-perfect shot there. Rita leaning out, fires 2 bullets, domes heads, and says, cool, I've done my job now, and I've applied the pressure. You guys can back the hell away. Looking to do some more. Nade comes out as well. She is just going for it. And her teammates, they've provided that cover fire, but they're a little bit further away from her.
Nade just a bit too far once again. Noctiv doing all the damage that he could, but not a whole lot more for him to be done there. Tried as best as he could, takes down one of the players from We Need a Home, but will go down in return.
Israel was also taking some shots onto that at the same time, but they're still working their way up towards Zen. Inside Games come into the fray at the same, and we're going to see Peltzage. It goes down next, but is it going to be finished off? Quick map, they need some of these games. They've now actually kept 3 alive. They need to try and hold on to this position.
So despite the fact that we had a southern shift earlier, we have seen 3 northern shifts in a row now. Very fortunate for teams like Besiktas and Reciprocity sitting up on this side of the circle. But for teams that are down south, believe me, it's going to be a tricky run on down. You can see how open it is here, right? It's so hard to play around these areas. And the majority of teams, other than Rita, I guess, have left their vehicles behind a long time ago.
Rita just sends it forward, scouts ahead, taking shots from Tizerin. Pinned down once again. Luckily, Zen's coming to help her out.
I don't think that's how it works, James.
She's thinking you've got to help me out. She's happy with it. And I would be too. That's exactly what she needed to happen, because she was stuck between a rock and a hard place, quite literally there.
Not a whole lot more she could do from her position than just hope that all these teams are fighting things off while she's waiting for her teammates to come on further down towards her. Look at that. Nice. Sunday down to so low HP, but Insolenzo just not able to get the finishing touches on it.
Reciprocity still with 3 alive, working their way around just to the north of prison, but they've got Besiktas, who are being ever so quiet at the moment, not engaging in anything, just waiting, biding their time.
I guess Stamps, Pixel, figured that there was one guy in the smoke, just sprints on up towards it and gets him down, and teams are just shooting left, right, all over the place. Fights are happening. Every single team except for Northern Lights are in a fight right now. Rita, once again, getting knocks this time around on towards Aggie, and Sunday doing everything he can to make some room for himself, as he is all by himself with that team.
This is an absolutely insane push coming out from We Need a Home, and they are ripping apart Zen one by one. They are all falling, and this is going to be oh so difficult for them to recover from.
That's the only player remaining trying to hold back in the backside of things. Sukadnam, though, will be eliminated. A little bit of help coming from Polideric, and that's going to be We Need a Home completely wiping out Sukadnam. They had a good position up there, but they said, you know what, ain't gonna happen.
And that circle damage for inside games was far too much as Gravik will just pick them apart. Seekers now start to come into this, and they're looking to deliver onto Reciprocity. They waited all this time without making any action, any noise, and they have caught them off. Scoop goes in for the shot, finds himself one, looks for the second, and that's absolutely huge from Scoop, but he can't do it. It's just too much. Simpsy comes around the corner.
Oh, the timing.
So close.
Had both of them locked down, didn't shoot at the first guy, waited to see the second, got himself the knocks, looked off to the side just for a split second, and that allowed for Simpsy to look over the top.
Timing is what it came down to, and Besiktas, they waited for the longest. They were so happy to just sit there as 4 players and allow all this other fighting to go on around them.
And that's the thing, right? Because now we're in this sort of area that it's kind of Miramar-esque, so maybe that's what gives them a little bit of a confidence boost. But they have not fought. And now, 4 guys alive. Sure, there are only 16 players remaining, 12 potential kills for you, but now is when you can go harvesting with 4 people up.
This is what it's all about, right? How these teams wait and approach situations. Because had Besiktas gone earlier, they probably would have been fighting with Reciprocity, Zen, and Seacork.
Also gotta say, Six is still alive. That's pretty impressive. He's been sitting down here for a long time, watching or hearing at least a lot of teams around him get finished off. 0 kills for Stella, and all 6 is hoping for some placement points on this one.
He's got at least 1 for now. Can he get any more? Teams just continue to bypass him, but he's now going to have to find his way soon enough into some action because there are so many players around him.
I'm a little curious as to why Northern Lights decided to run further inside prison instead of trying to make their way around, because they indeed will not be able to do anything from there. Jupesic, good shots connected over towards Simpsy, but he's taking a lot and returned down to low HP. Nate's down there as well now, and in Silenzo. Once again, single player remaining has to do some magic as Jupesic just got finished off.
And Tom Hill just firing out nade after nade after nade. Does finally take down Jupiter with the help of Lux. And they're going to continue to push themselves around. Besiktas in such a good position, but they need to keep an eye on Silenzo here.
Northern Lights out in 7th place. I believe they got a few kills with them too. And Seacork, well, I mean, Ness, you can hug that corner in there. It's not going to grant you a whole lot. You are going to be outside the circle in just a few. It is not going to grant you much. 6 as well going down, but that's going to be 6th place for him. Better than what he could have hoped for earlier.
And Ness, where do you go from here, my friend? You may have found your way slightly in. Oh, no, he's just going to take damage.
Any spot that he can find around there that's going to be in? I don't think so. He's completely out. Yeah, he's dead.
Rip dreams, but he still managed to secure a 5th place. Imagine if he'd gone down afterwards and Sigsy had stayed alive, right? So just that means that all the more to him and his team.
For sure. Rita, Paladrook, only 2 players alive. Actually, Lipson is up there as well. Didn't even notice him, and he's doing a lot of damage over towards Krabik as well. Bit of a surprise position from him, actually jumping into the vehicle here, granting himself some cover where there is none. Smart playing from him, and this is something we haven't really seen from We Need a Home before. Them just playing really well orchestrated together.
And I've got to mention it, Silenzo is still alive on his own, chilling. People are leaving him to his own devices again. He will be that thorn in the team's side if they do not find him soon enough. Points.
Gotta get some placement points. That's exactly what he's thinking, and he's doing it right now, letting all these other teams fight somewhere else. Because once again, Besiktas have cleared that side. Sure, they're only gonna knock on Jupesic, but they're not gonna focus fire on one guy down there. They'll put their focus on the threat ahead.
And that threat ahead will be coming to them very soon.
And that's the thing, right? Because you can see in the map in the corner, everyone's on the edge. Next circle is going to be the center dot. So they will all have to make that way on in. And everybody kind of has the same little role to hide behind. So again, I mean, for Insolenzo, don't engage in anything. But for 7, for We Need a Home, for Besiktas, the team of these 3 that gets to third party, the other guys might be the victors here. Now it's Rita, first knock. Insane game for her so far. 11 kills, make that 12 kills for We Need a Home.
And this could be the game We Need a Home need to come into this. Rita got the backup of Polideric. They're looking for Lux. Bray comes out in. Tom Hill's thrown himself down. Rita trying to play this smart and come up at the right time to cause a bit of the problem. Tom Hill, she misses the first few key shots. Now her position's given away. She needs to use that first aid kit.
Circle is closing in real slow. She couldn't figure out if he wanted to go for the meds or go for the damage. Unfortunately, missing out on one of the Besiktas players right there. But what a great game it has been for Rita and for We Need a Home so far.
And she has led the full charge on this, right? Pushed in with her car out in the open, went confidently into some of these battles, and the engagements have been working out very well.
Well, Derek trying to crawl on forward. Everyone's down on their stomachs now. Nobody wants to reveal their positions. Krabik, though, on the other hand, he's just running dead center saying, guys, it's ending in here. Just come to me. This is where all the fun's going to be.
We put another Silencio cam as well. He's just chilling. He's like, yep, I'll watch this all go on around me.
Silencio cams. That's a thing now, by the way.
Yep.
We'll have a little overlay down there in the corner saying Silencio cam.
Just have like a little cartoon face of him, really smiling. I've done it again, guys. I got this.
And the fun thing is, as much as we're laughing about it, because it is kind of entertaining,
It works.
it's so many points that he's getting for his team. It's insane.
Would he end up in third place last time and did nothing? Just sprayed away a few shots at the end. And hey, why not? If you can get it and the rest of your team are falling, if you can hang in there, this is points your team desperately needs, especially how close it is. And then Silencio actually comes alive, takes the kill onto Tomel. This could really upset him. He gets himself an actual kill as well. Lux is looking for him and still doesn't really know fully where he is.
Smoke's being thrown now, wants to grant himself some more cover, don't want to allow for teams to be peeked down towards him, and Lux is just waiting. Everybody on their stomachs just waiting. Could be fun with the kind of overview camera of just seeing all these snakes crawling around on this hillside, because this sure is going to be a slow one. Raider now up on their feet, they know there are 3 guys alive, so they might just have the upper hand here. They have a high ground position too, but it's so hard to push downhill towards these snakes. They will have the surprise angle on towards you.
And for that exact kill is why we have the Silencio cam. It's a real thing now, I'm telling you. Lux, though, doesn't get his own cam just yet. He's not warranted it. He's spraying now. He gets found by Retail and Besiktas down in 3rd place. Now Polideri's on the hunt. Some of the players here from 7 are going to have to try and hold on to it. It's not going to happen, and Quickmath get found. Then Silencio goes down. 7 trying to hold on, but we need a home. Just proved too strong. And what an absolutely phenomenal game from